There was the light of day forcing itself slowly into the fog. The fog moved slowly. The tops of trees moved slowly. Under the trees, the fog was dense, purple. It was like smoke lying in the streets of a factory town. An old man came up to me in the fog. I know him well. The people here call him insane. He is a little cracked, they say. He lives alone in a little house buried deep in the forest, and has a small dog he carries always in his arms. On many mornings I have met him walking on the road, and he has told me of men and women who are his brothers and sisters, his cousins, aunts, uncles, brothers-in-law. It is confusing. He cannot draw close to people near at hand, so he gets hold of a name out of a newspaper and his mind plays with it. On one morning, he told me he was a cousin to the man named Cox, who at the time when I write is a candidate for the presidency. On another morning, he told me that Caruso the singer had married a woman who was his sister-in-law. "She is my wife's sister," he said, holding the little dog close. His gray, watery eyes looked appealingly up to me. He wanted me to believe it. "My wife was a sweet, slim girl," he declared. "We lived together in a big house, and in the morning walked about arm in arm. Now her sister has married Caruso the singer. He is of my family now." As someone had told me the old man had never married, I went away wondering. One morning in early September, I came upon him, sitting under a tree beside a path near his house. The dog barked at me, and then ran and crept into his arms. At that time, the Chicago newspapers were filled with the story of a millionaire who had gotten into trouble with his wife because of an intimacy with an actress. The old man told me that the actress was his sister. He is 60 years old, and the actress whose story appeared in the newspapers is 20, but he spoke of their childhood together. "You would not realize it to see us now, but we were poor then," he said. "It's true. We lived in a little house on the side of a hill. Once, when there was a storm, the wind nearly swept our house away. How the wind blew! Our father was a carpenter, and he built strong houses for other people, but our own house he did not build very strong." He shook his head sorrowfully. "My sister, the actress, has got into trouble. Our house is not built very strongly," he said, as I went away along the path. For a month, 2 months, the Chicago newspapers that are delivered every morning in our village have been filled with the story of a murder. A man there has murdered his wife, and there seems no reason for the deed. The tale runs something like this. The man, who is now on trial in the courts and will no doubt be hanged, worked in a bicycle factory where he was a foreman and lived with his wife and his wife's mother in an apartment in 32nd Street. He loved a girl who worked in the office of the factory where he was employed. She came from a town in Iowa, and when she first came to the city, lived with her aunt who has since died. To the foreman, a heavy, stolid-looking man with gray eyes, she seemed the most beautiful woman in the world. Her desk was by a window at an angle of the factory, a sort of wing of the building, and the foreman, down in the shop, had a desk by another window. He sat at his desk making out sheets containing the record of the work done by each man in his department. When he looked up, he could see the girl sitting at work at her desk. The notion got into his head that she was peculiarly lovely. He did not think of trying to draw close to her or of winning her love. He looked at her as one might look at a star, or across a country of low hills in October when the leaves of the trees are all red and yellow gold. She is a pure, virginal thing, he thought vaguely. What can she be thinking about as she sits there by the window at work? In fancy, the foreman took the girl from Iowa home with him to his apartment.